Okay, welcome everybody. This is the City of Vineland Chestnut Avenue Safety Improvements and Rehabilitation Project in the City of Vineland, Cumberland County, New Jersey. Representatives include Brian Headley, the city engineer, Stephanie Wakely, the assistant engineer, um, Beth Grasso, that's myself from Panoni, we're the designer lead, Charles Calamer, sorry. He's from GPI. He is also one of the designers on the project, and we have put this project together but as a shared project between Panoni and GPI. And we have, I'm not sure if Carol's there, but from Envisions, she has been leading the public involvement portion of the project. So I'd like to introduce our Spanish interpreter.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Novia. Estoy aquí para interpretar el meeting. Si tienen alguna pregunta, algún comentario, los vamos a hacer después de que terminemos el. Estoy aquí para ayudar. Gracias.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the project is funded with a 20% city match through the following sources. The city received a $20 million grant through the Safe Streets for All, the SS4A program, from the Federal Highway Administration, and $2 million in federal community project funding. This is the second PIC meeting, Public Information Center meeting. Since the first meeting, back in September, it was September 11th of 2025, the scope of the project was changed based on federal highway guidance. So we're going to talk about some of those changes. Panoni Associates is a primary engineering consultant and partnering with Greenman Pedersen, GPI. The following process is typically applied for our transportation improvement projects. First, we evaluate the corridor, we come up with a plan, we create the design, and then the project goes to construction. Right now, we're in the design phase. Okay. So some of the things we'll discuss is the project location, the existing conditions, the purpose and need for the project, the proposed improvements, the project benefits, the next steps, and we will have a Q&A session at the end. Please hold your questions to the very end. We will answer everybody's question, but it's just more organized if we answer the questions at the end and just continue going through the slideshow. So the project location is Chestnut Avenue between Delsey Drive, Route 47, and Main Road. That's CR 555. It's about 2.25 miles in length. The existing roadway is a 4-lane, multi-lane highway with 2 lanes in each direction. Traffic signals are outdated with obsolete timings and non-functional or limited vehicle detection. There's damage to sidewalk and ADA facilities, limited roadway and pedestrian lighting, and stormwater infrastructure needs replacing or upgrades, besides the condition of the pavement. The asphalt, pavement, and striping is in overall poor condition. The traffic signal equipment is outdated and timings are obsolete for current traffic volumes. Missing and damaged sidewalk limits ADA roadway users. Safety concerns are paramount, with the crash history showing significant numbers of crashes with injuries, and fatalities. The proposed stormwater improvements will help mitigate flooding along Chestnut Avenue. So the proposed improvement, we're going to, this is different than what we had presented back in September, which was at that time a road diet, which was going to be 1 lane each direction with a center lane to make turns. That has since been changed to convert the 4-lane multi-lane highway into a 4-lane thoroughfare with 12-foot wide dedicated left turn lanes at the signalized intersections. So We're still going to upgrade the traffic signals in the corridor and use a new traffic signal will be installed at South Third Street. We're going to install a 5-foot wide sidewalk and an 8-foot wide shared use path on the eastbound and westbound sides of the roadway, respectively. We're going to install ADA compliant curb ramps, install upgrading lighting facilities for vehicles and pedestrians, and we're going to do those drainage infrastructures updates. I want to point to the photo or the figure on the right-hand side, proposed roadway layout. I'm sure everybody's familiar with when you have 2 lanes and you put in a center lane to make that dedicated left turn. You know, it'll give you a protected left turn and improve safety. Okay. So this is kind of a weird push out picture, but when you go from 4 lanes to 5 lanes at the intersection, you're going to have to push out. So you're going to convert the existing 4-lane between Southeast Boulevard and 7th Street into a 4-lane thoroughfare with a center two-way left turn lane. We're going to install mid-block crossings with rectangular rapid flashing beacons at several locations. So this is kind of representing what you would see, the widening. You've gone from the 4 lanes out to 5 lanes, and then you go from the 5 lanes back to 4 lanes. So dedicated left turn lanes are anticipated to reduce the rear end and left turn crashes and act as an overall traffic calming mechanism. New shared use paths will separate vehicular traffic from bicycles and pedestrians. Optimized traffic signals are expected to enhance the travel time through the corridor. Currently, people race through the corridor trying to get to the next light without getting caught by the light. This timing will be better, so there'll be a smoother flow, and there's no real reason to race down the street to try to hit the next light. So the next steps, we are proceeding with the final design plans. We just submitted our 60% plans. We're going to develop our construction cost estimates and bid the project to prospective contractors. We're going to enter construction with an anticipated completion in fall of 2027. Stephanie, I believe that is pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, we're looking to start construction in June of next year.
Okay.
It's upcoming year.
So it's not completion. It's construction is anticipated in fall of June of 2027.
Yeah, prior to fall, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then just to let everybody know, this meeting's been recorded and be available for replay on the City of Vineland's website under the project web page. There's the web page. It's really easy to find on Vineland's web page. Public comments will be accepted for a period of 30 days through August 20th of 2026. Kindly forward all your comments to Stephanie Wakely at swakely@vinelandcity.org, and there's her phone number. So if there's any questions, we'd like to address those. I'll leave this up on the screen if anybody's writing it down.
Does anyone have any questions or comments that you'd like to share? Please raise your hand. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything you'd like to share, please do so now. Please raise your hand. I think you raised your hand first, though, if you'd like to. And can you state your name and your address, please?
Yes, my name is Rivera. My former client was Cherry. That's actually in between the boulevard and 4th Street at that main intersection where all this can be transparent. In the past, there's been a lot of accidents there, there's been a lot of deaths. And I've actually lost my life on Chestnut Avenue, November 15th, 1989, right there where the hospital is. This is, I feel it's going to be something a lot better for us to have here because there is a lot going on Chestnut Avenue. Everyone is racing to get to a traffic light for no apparent reason of life other than for their own sanity, I guess. This is going to help a lot. I do believe it's gonna improve a lot of what's going on, especially the drainage. There is a lot of flooding on Chestnut Avenue in that area. Sixth Street is the worst one. So, that being said, I think this is a good plan to move forward with. My question really is there already an engineer's drawing laid out, like model or anything of the area itself?
Like plans?
Yes, the actual, like, see it now,
Uh,
on the road, or anything like that?
just more of like a design plan that's on the website. Yeah.
There's a link that does what the government is.
I'll look into that.
Thank you for your comment. Did you have your hand raised? Oh, you did. Yes, sir, sir. And state your name and your address.
My name is Anatol Vasilia. I was the city engineer for the city that did most of this work that is involved in this project. So I have just a couple of questions. Is there going to be widening of Chestnut?
Beth, did you hear the question?
Something about widening.
Yeah, is the roadway gonna get widened?
It'll be only in the areas where we're widening for left turn lanes
I mean, like at an intersection
at an
primarily.
intersection. Yes,
The main width of the road is pretty much going to stay the way it is.
yes.
Well, it's gonna be widened at the intersections because we're creating a dedicated.
Right,
left turn
correct.
lane. So it's widening for that.
Right. And the reference to shared pathways between pedestrians and bicycles, like, that's not clear to me. Does that mean that the sidewalk is now going to be used and no bicycles will be in the roadway? What does that mean, a shared pathway?
You
Is
want
that
me
what
to
that
take
means?
that, Stephanie?
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's a
Okay.
good thing, but that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll have a separate multi-use path that is separate from the roadway, which will accommodate
Okay.
both pedestrians and bicycles. It'll be 8 feet wide and it'll be located typically on the west side of the roadway. The
All right.
east side of the roadway will have a 5-foot wide sidewalk instead of the 4-foot that's out there.
North side of the roadway. It'll be on the north side.
All right, so
Sorry,
obviously
north and south. Yeah, you're right.
there won't be a bicycle path.
There's
In
no
between.
bicycle, yeah, there's no bicycle lane in the roadway. The idea of the shared use path is so that the bicycles are out of the traveled way for,
That's
obviously,
good.
for safety purposes.
One of the early ideas was having a bicycle path, possibly mixing with traffic. So I just want to
Yeah,
make
we
sure.
moved it outside the curb line to
Yeah, that's good.
prevent those issues.
I didn't hear anything about the intersection of Valley and Chestnut, because once upon a time, there was, I guess, a design idea of putting some kind of a circle or turnaround in there. I know
Yeah.
it's
A
a
roundabout
difficult
is not
problem.
included. Right. A roundabout is not included.
So no, there's, we did look at that in the original concepts of the, unfortunately, we just don't have the right of way there.
Correct.
To put a roundabout. I believe it's just going to be handled through traffic signal timing improvements
Right.
primarily to make that
Right.
a little more efficient.
So the main thing that I'm getting from this presentation, and this is very important, and that's that Chestnut Avenue will primarily still be 4 lanes wide all the way, because that's why we made it 4 lanes wide. When I started, it was 2 lanes wide, and at rush hour, it was terrible. You couldn't get in and out because the volume of traffic. You can imagine what it was 25 years ago when I did it. Today, it's even more. So, and with the fire station there, you can't have a traffic problem and have a fire station in the same area. So
Yeah, we
it's a very good amendment that you made.
Yeah, we did switch back to the 4 or 2 in each direction, as well as additional protected left turn lanes at the lights. And then we have added other pedestrian and bicycle safety improvements in the
Right.
hope that these crashes that have happened between pedestrians and also just motor vehicles in general are reduced as part of this project.
And obviously, in the very beginning, there's no doubt that Chestnut Avenue needs a complete rehab. I think the last time it had new asphalt was '96. So if you do the math, 30 years, that's way past the expectancy on a road of this level of volume of traffic. And of course, school buses use it quite a bit as well. So, are you to the point of designing the thickness of the asphalt or how that final installation is going to be? Or are you still in the design part of just doing geometry?
Beth, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're at the end of we're
Oh,
near
you
the end
know,
of
I can hardly hear you because
Yeah.
there's
we're-
echo
we're
in
near
this
the
meeting.
end of preliminary engineering design, so we do have thicknesses proposed in certain
Mhm.
areas. In some areas, Chestnut does have a concrete base
Yeah,
that we're working with,
yeah.
either removing or replacing, but we are at that point where we do have thickness. I don't have it offhand.
That's okay. I'm just wondering whether you already got to that point.
Yeah,
No?
we are there.
All right, good.
And we
Well,
did we did do some coring samples, things like that to test the sub base, and
mhm.
obviously during construction, if we have to make minor changes, we will.
Yeah, you shouldn't find any surprises in Chestnut Avenue. We found them all. So
Saved us some time. Saved us some time.
Yeah, well, we widened it when we went from 2 lanes to 4 lanes. You're going to find a lot of stuff. So we moved most of the utilities that could have been moved, especially between the railroad and Delsey, because that was very narrow. So the gas line and everything has been moved, but still, you never know what you might find, but we took care of most of it, I think, back then. All right, very good. Well, I'm happy. I mean, it's a big change from the beginning when this project first made the news, you know, with 2 lanes and bicycles. I got a lot of phone calls about, you got to stop it. So someone came to their senses.
Well, thank you for being here, especially with your history. Thank you. Yes, yes.
I wasn't sure where we were going to be, so whether we were at 2 lanes or 4 lanes or especially with the bicycles, because I wouldn't want anyone to ride a bike down Chestnut Avenue. That would be very dangerous, I would consider.
So it's good that we're separating them.
Be satisfied with what I've just seen.
Thank you.
Good luck today. I would say 2027 is an ambitious date, but go for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have any public comment? Okay, please state your name and your address, please.
Michael Stern, Princess Lane, Vineland. 2 questions. One, will the speed limit change with the improvements? And the second thing is, there is an approval for a self-storage facility on Chestnut Avenue. Is there going to be some accommodation for a decel lane, or you don't think you need one for that particular project?
For the first portion, the speed limit will not be changing I don't believe so.
No.
The speed limit is not changing as part of the project. But the second question, the self-storage facility is towards the east side of the project, towards Main Road. It does have approval. We're not sure of the timing. They did not propose a decel lane. I don't believe it would be required. Typically, self-storage after construction has a relatively low traffic count because people are visiting it maybe once a week to their storage unit. So we're not proposing any sort of decel lane for actually any of the uses along Chestnut Avenue.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yes. Please state your name and your address. Thank you.
Lisa Fleming, 2100 Morris River Parkway, in Vineland. And I was just wondering, how far are the sidewalks and the sidewalk and the multi-use path? How far will they be from the curb? And will they be like, it probably is going to vary as you go along the road, but will it be mostly taking room from the space between the sidewalk and the curb, or cutting more towards people's properties?
So generally, it will be cutting further away from the roadway so that there's a vegetated strip between the curbing and the path. that separation is important for us. Chestnut has a 100-foot right-of-way, so I will say there is a lot of private improvements that have creeped their way into the public right-of-way. But what we're doing is we're obviously doing our best to weigh those, but it varies, obviously, the distance, but it's not going to be right up against the curb like you see sometimes. That's not something we're looking to do here.
That's good. Thanks.
Would anyone else like to, oh, yes, thank you. Please state your name and address.
I'm Deb Marco, 728 Yale Terrace. Most of the crashes on Chestnut Avenue have been pedestrian related. Could you explain a little bit more how people are crossing Chestnut Avenue, particularly like at Valley and Main Road where the school is?
Sure. You want me to, Beth, do you want to handle that one? That one's a little more in the details than I know about. Did you hear
Yeah.
the question?
Yeah, we're adding the pedestrian paths will keep more kids on the sidewalk rather than out in the roadway, especially if they're riding bicycles. And all the crossings will be very well marked. We'll have push buttons so that the children can go across when the push button shows them the symbol to walk. And we're updating all the signals accordingly.
We're doing lighting improvements
Yeah.
as well.
Yes.
And we have reached out to the crossing guards. Obviously, they are along that path for a lot of the walkers from the school and taking their concerns into consideration as well.
And we're going to have several
Okay.
rapid flashing beacons.
There's no
Mid-block.
bump outs proposed at the intersection. It's not wide enough for the bump outs, right, Beth?
Correct.
So there's no bump out proposed, but we do have the certain areas pedestrian flashing beacons. And then in general, all of the traffic signals will be upgraded so that they are better advertising when a pedestrian should cross. They provide the flashing beacons, the walk, don't walk, the countdowns. And then additionally, just general visibility will be improved with new striping, and then better realignment for certain crosswalks so that it would be more conductive to somebody using that. Because the big issue I think we run into a lot with pedestrian vehicle crashes, is getting the pedestrian to utilize a crosswalk. Sometimes I know we had this issue on Landis Avenue where if they want to cross in the middle of the roadway and there's not a crosswalk, it's difficult to design for that, obviously, because we can't anticipate that, and we obviously can't have the whole thing being pedestrian crossing. So what we tried to do is we tried to improve the crossings that exist to make them more, I'll say, user-friendly for the individual, more inclined to utilize those crosswalks to give them the safest path from either the north side to the south side or east-west along Chestnut.
As Anatole mentioned, there's a lot of aging infrastructure in Vineland. Has everything been improved in that Chestnut area, Caragor? Because most of the time we have paving projects and a year later they're digging it up because we have a water main break or something like that.
We have been working very hard in general across the city to make sure that we are following the water main and sewer and gas with our paving projects. But yes, for this one specifically, we have coordinated with water utility, South Jersey Gas. You might have seen them out there. They've been doing improvements down the way for quite some time. Same thing with the Landis Sewerage Authority. They are aware and they're in the process of TVing all their pipes to make sure their services are updated. So yeah, we're doing our best to prevent that.
We've
And
also videoed the storm sewer too.
I know you had another remark.
Okay, Lisa Fleming again. Question about the crosswalks. Actually, two. Is there any thought to having the timing of the pedestrian crossings be like total all the way around? Like
a separate, like a third phase where it's just pedestrians crossing?
Yes.
We actually, ironically, we spoke about that today. As of right now, we don't have a separate pedestrian phase. It's definitely something that we can see if it's warranted based on our pedestrian counts. But right now, it's just the standard kind of, you're going, the traffic's going, you're crossing.
Right. It just might be good at the major intersections, like at Main Road and at East.
Yeah, we're working on that balance, obviously, for providing that. So it's definitely something we can continue to consider as we finalize our design.
And will there be any other crossings in between the intersections?
As of right now, we don't have any mid-block crossings. For a road like Chestnut, we felt that to do that would be fairly dangerous for
Inviting problems.
It does, because obviously it's 4 lanes of traffic, and any mid-block crossing, even the one with the best signage, is sometimes unexpected.
Right.
I know if you drive down Landis, sometimes you don't expect them, and it's a whole different surface. So we thought that we felt there were enough crossings that it would be adequate to have them cross, particularly at intersections and primarily at signalized intersections.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, you have a question or a comment.
Hi, my name's Mike DiStefano, Roan Funeral Service here in Vineland, 1110 East Chestnut Avenue. We take up a lot of frontage between Valley and Evelyn on there. I know I'm a little late. I tried to get on Zoom. I couldn't get on. But I'm interested to know where the existing sidewalk is on Chestnut going in front of our building. Is that going to be moved, or are you encroaching that far back, or?
You have existing sidewalk in front of your...
In front of the funeral home?
Yes.
All the way down?
That's 5 feet in width.
Mm-hmm.
And you would know better than I, it's not up against the curb, right? There's this grass strip.
There's a grass strip,
That will be, on the north side, that will be revised to an 8-foot wide shared use path.
Okay.
A little wider. So it will be moving inward, still on city property, obviously, city right away, but inward towards your building.
Right. So I don't know if you've ever been by, but we have 4 large concrete pilasters with lanterns and the entrance and exit of our driveway. We always thought it was our property, back that far from the center of the road. But what happens to those?
Well, we've done our best, if need be, to kind of jog that sidewalk to avoid any moving any larger structures or things that we wouldn't really.
Yeah, because I just had these put in not long. I mean, we've been there since 1955, but I had them redone about 6 years ago, I guess, and they made them all concrete. Okay, all right. That's a good thing. My other question is the traffic light at Valley Avenue. Valley's offset. That's where a lot of accidents occur. When we pull out taking leave on a funeral and we're leaving, the east-west side of Chestnut Avenue, that light, we timed it's about 19 seconds before it changes. Are they going to be elongated or anything to give more time for that?
What we've done is we're doing a full reevaluation of the signal and the signal timing, and obviously the signal itself is being replaced,
right,
and updated. So based on our traffic counts, obviously we can't always account for something like a funeral.
Yeah, I understand they were fixed not long ago. They were retimed or whatever, but we actually timed it several times, pulling out of the funeral home with a funeral procession. And a lot of times we can't even get out of the driveway and make it to the intersection before the light changes.
Yeah, based on our traffic counts, we are definitely looking at basically all of that corridor, because as you know, if you go the wrong time down Chestnut, you're hitting
every light. The timing is.
So we are looking at timing coordination as well as general traffic signal coordination. You're not going to get 100 cars through the light, but we're hoping that it'll be an improvement in general at the end.
Right. So with the new design, given there's 4 lanes and a suicide lane, I believe that's the plan. Okay.
No, 4 lanes and a
lefts.
left turn lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
We call it a center turn lane.
Right.
The word suicide.
Yeah. Well, I'm old, so that's what we use.
They don't like that.
But is there any shoulder to that between the roadway and the curb? Is that where the bike lane will be, or?
No bike lane. The shoulders are about 2.5 feet wide.
Yep.
The
Okay.
bikes will be on the multi-use path.
Oh, okay.
And as
Because we
far as
do-
far as the signals, I'm sorry, as far as the signals
Yeah.
go, the existing signals that are out there, they float. Like they're so old that they don't like keep the timing,
Yeah,
and
because I noticed this big
they can
change.
float from the original design. The new signals will have it in encoded and will perform much better, and they reset every day like to midnight. So if they float by say 3 minutes today, it'll
Right.
reset at midnight. And the ones now might be 3 minutes today, 3 minutes tomorrow, 4 minutes the next day, 2 minutes the one after that, and then things start to float around. So these will be improved. One of the options for you at the funeral home, I would think, is if you got the Vineland police involved, and
Yeah.
they could probably just go into the box and preempt to let
Okay.
everybody out if you have that much
Because we
traffic.
did notice that there's always a rapid change. One day it's longer, the next day it's not. And it
Yes.
just creates the problem. The reason I asked about if there's any little bit of room between the curb and the existing street, when we have a snowstorm, we always clear our sidewalk out there.
Right.
Because we have all the traffic from Memorial Veteran School, the
Mhm.
kids walking. And a lot of places don't clear their sidewalks, so they go out onto the street. And when they do, I said, I can't even look out the front door because all these kids are walking in Chestnut Avenue and they tend to move a little fast there. So hopefully this will alleviate part of that. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those remarks. Would anyone else have any question? Oh,
I apologize. I have to step out for another meeting at 6, but Stephanie and Rick can handle any more questions. Thank you guys for coming out. We really appreciate it.
There's another question.
okay.
Kathy Malone, 622 South 4th Street. Two questions. You talked about helping with the flooding that happens. Is it going to be addressed at West and Chestnut as well? Because it's like a pond over there when it rains.
Yeah,
So
we're
that'd be
we're
addressed.
evaluating all the stormwater. There'll be a new basin that we're going to be installing. And we're adding inlets and replacing pipes as appropriate to help eliminate the flooding out there. The problem is when you have little to no shoulder, that lane tends to fill up with water. So we're trying to put in more inlets to collect the flow instead of having it bypass the inlets. And we're trying to upsize our pipes to be able to convey the flow without a backup. But yeah, we definitely see in our modeling, we definitely see there are problems out there.
Yeah, because it's not a shoulder issue. It's the whole road. Both lanes are flooded.
Yeah, understood.
It's the whole thing.
Some of the
Okay, and-
systems are undersized.
We're gonna make into a basin. We own that one corner across from
Oh,
Eric's.
oh, perfect.
The southwest corner. Say that
Yeah.
again?
At West and Chestnut.
It's like an open basin.
Yeah, because it floods there a lot. My second question is, we have a proposed start date of June of 2027. Do we have an estimated completion date?
Possibly around 300 days past that point, start construction.
About what?
300 days.
Okay, so about a year,
Made it.
almost a year. Okay, this just so I have an idea. Thank you.
I think we need to take a new question over here and then you next. Okay. Thank you.
How you doing? Marcos Diaz, 724 East Chestnut Avenue. In those 300 days that you guys going to be working in that area, most of the business, I own a business over there, is going to be really affected by the construction. Has the city any plans for the business that practically is going to be closed on those days?
So we're gonna try and keep the roadway open the entire time. They'll just have lane closures here and there. But the contractor will coordinate with the businesses or residents if there is an actual road closure.
Did you have another remark?
Anatol Vasiliev again. Just a comment about the flooding. I don't know if your company has videoed the drainage system at all, but typically our systems in Vineland get full of trash very quickly. In my day, we had two crews that did nothing but clean out drainage systems. that was usually very effective. And I don't know if the city still does that. A lot of things have changed since I left, but uh, many times the drainage system will flood because it's half full of trash, debris, sand, and all the other stuff because it has no place to go, literally, when it gets in there. So I would just tell everybody, and don't know how much you've communicated with the city, but you should ask the city to clean it out first, then video it, or at least be aware of all these trash problems, because the systems under Chestnut Avenue are very adequate. For many years after we installed them, there was virtually no flooding. But that was 30 years ago. A lot of things happened in 30 years, but especially the intersection of Chestnut and West. That used to be a pond, but there's a very big system underneath there. But as I drive by, I always see the inlets are full of trash, stuff stuck in them, branches are stuck in them. Well, you know where that goes? Not too far. It goes a few feet in there, and that plugs up the effectiveness of the system. So I would just repeat, make sure you contact the city and see what they can do about cleaning them out. It's free. That's what they do for a living, or at least that's what they used to do for a living. So
Yep.
before you design a much bigger system, just make sure that the one you have is working. This is my 2 cents.
Okay, understood. We have already had the system cleaned and videoed. The undersizing is because the storms that are regulated now are much larger than the storms that were regulated 20, 30 years ago. So just in our calculations and modeling, we have to design to a larger frequency storm than what they did 30 years ago. That's why it says the systems are undersized. Some of the systems, not all of them.
My name is Pedro Varela. I live in Chestnut on 4th Street. I'm sorry.
Over at West Avenue. So the system that's there now is there's one on each side. On the south side, it's like a 5-6 pipe manifold perforated system, and we have recently had emergencies there because the system has failed. The system is silted up, so that's going to need rehabilitation. So that's going to be a part of the plan.
My name is Pedro Varela. I live at Chestnut on 4th Street. My question is, the new sidewalks are going to be built all by concrete? Because in my section, there is a part concrete and a little strip of grass and some small trees along the way. And the new sidewalks is going to be all concrete without the trees and no grass.
Yeah, we will have concrete sidewalks. What was the address again?
Chestnut and 4th Street.
Oh, over on 4th Street?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that area there. On the corner, going eastbound on the north side, going halfway up the block to about 418 Chestnut Avenue, there is no sidewalk there.
There's a grass strip that people walk through, right?
There's, I've actually seen flooding also, spillage, over spillage coming out of this as well. So it's probably the reason why there's the sidewalk there is because there's part of the system still remaining from what was there prior to the construction of Chestnut Avenue 30 years ago. So there's a lot of flooding there.
Yeah. My other question is that why you doing the pave, all the sewer section, all the sewer system are going to be updated? Somebody's going to make sure that everything is doing the way it's supposed to before you pave, because when I received a letter, it was saying that if there is any problem with the sewer system from your house to the sewer system, once it's paved, you cannot do anything.
Correct. Yeah, you're talking about just for like utility.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. So if you need to make any upgrades, I would suggest doing it now, or in the near future.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or any comments? Okay, yeah.
Starting on Chestnut Avenue, there's a drainage ditch that goes to Walnut Road, then it continues to the boulevard and continues after that. Is there any plan to utilize that in water retention or water disposal from Chestnut Avenue?
We cannot increase the flow to that particular location. We have to match the discharge that we have now. So we do discharge to the existing system discharges to that particular ditch, but we cannot change the amount that we're discharging to that ditch without a permit. Yeah.
Thank you.
That located?
It's
That-
Tarmac branch or something. It's it comes across near the railroad and Chestnut, and then it goes behind the homes on Chestnut, and like you said, out to Walnut, and then eventually flows into the what's the name of the branch there? Not Blackwater. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But yes, we are not looking to put any more water there.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or any comments you'd like to share? No? Oh, okay. Yes.
Regarding our property on Chestnut Avenue where our parking lot is, this was built before it was required to have runoff and spillage. So we actually, at the end of our driveways, at the entrance and the exit, we had the drainage basins which would run out onto the pipe that went by Chestnut Avenue. About 6-7 years ago, we had a sinkhole develop in one of our gardens. We didn't know what it was from. So I called GE Mechanical. They came over. They dug it up. And they went down there with a camera and they said where it runs out to the terracotta pipe along Chestnut Avenue, which was installed many years ago, the terracotta pipe is collapsing. So they said what's happening is your spillage is going in there, going directly in there, and it has nowhere to go. So it's backing up because we were getting a flood out by the end. So they said I would just pave over it in your parking lot, over that one, and then just let it run out. And I called the city and I spoke with the mayor's office and I said, I would appreciate it if a city engineer comes out and signs off on this, because if our runoff from our parking lot floods Chestnut Avenue from our location, 1110, down to Evelyn Avenue, and it creates a danger in that lane, I don't want to get blamed for that. So I had 2 people come out and everybody agreed that was the simplest solution. They said eventually they'll fix that portion of the pipe, but they don't know when. So that I do know because they went under there with cameras. And they looked, and the terracotta pipe that's out there is completely disintegrating. It's insufficient, they told me. So I just wanted you to be aware of that.
Thank you. Any terracotta pipe would be replaced automatically. We do have corrugated metal pipe that needs to be replaced also, because that is also at an end of its design life. So we will be replacing pipes in the street.
Would anyone else?
I'm sorry, that's what was the address?
1110 East Chestnut Avenue.
1110 East Chestnut Avenue.
Okay, and the pipe is actually in Chestnut.
Yeah, it's in Chestnut and it runs to Valley Avenue. It runs to Valley Avenue at the intersection there.
Okay, thank you. We'll double check
Okay.
that.
Does anyone else have any comments they would like to share or any questions? No. Okay, thank you.
Okay. I will end the recording. And then if anybody else comes in and has some questions, we'll turn the recording back on. It's currently 5:52, and I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. We really appreciate your feedback and your questions. Oh, hey, everyone. When you came in, we actually gave you a survey. So if you'd like to fill it out and give it back to us, we will be factoring that into the design going forward. Although